Hello everybody, Dennis Beeson here, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce with my good friend Chris Lamons.
With the East Alabama Board of Realtors, and welcome to our candidate forum.
We're glad to be here sharing the spotlight with East Alabama Board of Realtors. We're great partners in and out of this community and around the place, and so it's just great to be with you, Chris.
Well, thanks Dennis for being the moderator tonight, and this is a community service with a great partnership of the East Alabama Board of Realtors and the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. So we really hope that you watch tonight, look at what the candidates have to say, listen to what they have to say, and make a great decision on this election year.
Yeah, it's a great thing for you to think about, and our format is a little bit different than some of the other formats. We're here to introduce the candidates, give them a chance to tell us and to tell you who they are, and not a combative way. We want them just to express who they are, and we are going to ask some questions, though, about what they feel about business and supporting business, which we're both very passionate about.
That's right, and pay specific attention to what the candidates will do for the East Alabama area, specifically, of course, Russell County, in the business community and with their decisions as they make them, whether it be school board, revenue commissioner, or the county commission.
So we've got a great lineup tonight. There's a number of candidates that have agreed to come on tonight and introduce themselves. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome back, everybody. We've got a great night for you tonight. Thanks to the East Alabama Board of Realtors for partnering up with us here at the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce to bring to you an introduction of some of the candidates. And we've got another great candidate here with us tonight. Sir, welcome, Mr. Few. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
If you would please introduce yourself to the folks out there and tell us what district that you're running for.
Sure. My name is Tillman Few. I'm running for District 2, County Commissioner, referred to as the Ladonia District.
Great. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to make sure people know where you're at, which is great. So give me a little background about yourself, maybe family that you've got in the area, and tell us about your professional background.
Sure. I'm a product of Ladonia. My family moved up from Glenville, Alabama back in the 30s. They were worked in the cotton mills, as most people. I lived out where now the Walmart's at. That was a mill village. My family, my grandmother, and my other relatives lived there. And I was raised there. When I was about 8 or 9 years, we moved over to Ramsey Road. I spent my years through high school there. And then later, after I finished my schooling and got into my own profession, I moved back to Phoenix City. I moved to Barefoot Road, and I've lived there for about 40 years.
Wonderful, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your professional career. What have you done, and maybe what are you most proud of with that professional career?
I started out when I was in school. I worked college, and my part-time job was with Texaco Oil Incorporated. I loaded gas tankers out there for over the road. And then when I turned 21, I was still going to school part-time, but married with a child on the way. So at that time, I went to work for Standard Oil of California, working for them as full-time as a driver. I worked there for about 4 years, and then after that, I went into the insurance business, and my brother and I formed Pew Insurance 43 years ago. I had to do the math real quick. So he and I formed Pew Insurance, and about 10 years ago, he and I separated. And I still own the insurance, which is a family-owned and run business here in Phoenix City, which is at 915 12th Street, in what I call downtown Phoenix City.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. It still is. Absolutely. And there's some good things coming, as you know, to that area. So why do you want to run for political office?
Very simple. I served as a county commissioner for 18 years. The last 3.5 years, we have had zero representation for Ladonia District.
Okay.
With the commissioner not functioning and not able to go to the meetings, you've got a 7-member board. It's 3-3. Yeah. Nothing has happened. Nothing has passed. They can't pass anything together. somebody's got to go down and break that 3-3 tie.
Sure.
I'm the person that can do it. I've got 18 years experience. I know what the problems are. I can hit the ground with no learning curve and peel some rubber.
There you go. I like that idea. So understanding that the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are both pro-business organizations, how do you plan to support business in both Russell County and even maybe the fringe parts of Russell County, like helping out and partnering up with folks like Smith Station and the mayor and the county and the commission over there?
Most people need to realize that the growth of Phoenix City can come from only 2 directions at this time. That's going to be to the south or to the west. Ladonia lies in the west, and then you have Fort Mitchell lying in the south. In order to grow in those areas, you've got to have infrastructure. There's not a proper infrastructure there to grow. If you'll look back at some of the neighboring cities and counties, take for instance Auburn, they laid a sewage line out in just farmland several miles from town, around Tiger Town. And now that is bustling with not only homes, rooftops brings your fast foods, and fast foods bring your hardware stores. So if you're asking me what we got to do, the infrastructure is going to have to be in place. A lot of people will look at you, and if the infrastructure isn't there, they're going to the next county or the next place that has an infrastructure ready to receive them. We got to be ready for them, not them ready for us.
I agree with you 100% on that. So if you're elected, what do you think maybe your #1 priority is that you want to bring to the table?
Bringing accountability back to the county commission. The county commissioners need to be held accountable to the voters of Russell County. The county commissioners need to hold the administrator accountable for misuse of a credit card, for hiring and firing practices that are not proper. They need to hold department heads accountable. Department heads need to hold the employees accountable. There's no accountability. That is the problem with how the county is functioning right now.
Okay, good. So as we kind of wrap this up, sir, give us maybe the 30-second, one more time, introduce yourself, tell us what district you're in, and tell us why someone should vote for you.
Okay, my name is Tillman Few. I'm running for Commissioner for District 2, Ladonia, and I think I am the best qualified candidate for that office. I'm asking that you take your trust and place it in me and ask your friends to help me so I can go down and help the county with some of the problems so we can see some growth in this county and some organization.
Mr. Pugh, thank you so much for being here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We've got more candidates tonight, and we appreciate you tuning in. Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson here, the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, and we're at the East Alabama Board of Realtors with our next person running for commission. And Scott, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look into the camera and just simply introduce yourself and tell us what district that you're running for.
I'm Scott Chambers. I'm running for District 2, County Commissioner, which is the Ladonia area.
Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your professional background. What have you done recently or in the past that you feel like lines up with this commission business?
Okay, well, I'm a 20-year patron of Ladonia area. I own a construction company, Columbus Builders. Been in the area for many years. Started in 1968 by my father. We've brought businesses to the Ladonia area. Plan on bringing more to the Ladonia area. My office is in the Ladonia area, and we just plan on trying to grow the whole Russell County community, not just District 2, but just as a whole. We want to try to bring the whole county up and get businesses here for the community.
Wonderful. It sounds great. So, you know, it's a big step to go from a businessman into the world of politics. What was the driving force behind me running for office?
Well, my kids are in the area. I feel like the Ladonia area has kind of been overlooked some. I think there's a lot of heart in Ladonia. I think that now's the time for Ladonia to really shine, and let's bring Ladonia up to what Ladonia should be.
Great. Well, that's a great reason for sure. So if you may know, you may not know, but the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are very pro-business. Right. It's part of our organizational missions in both cases. So in what ways do you think that you're planning to support and help business grow, as you said, not just in Ladonia, but in the whole county?
Well, we do a lot of construction in the area, building new construction homes, which brings families in. We do commercial work as well, which brings businesses in, which drives the residential side.
Great. Tell us a little bit about the notion, if you were elected, what do you think your number one thing or number two thing would be that you feel like you want to change or add to the commission? Where are they lacking, or where do you feel like you can improve them?
Communication.
Okay.
I feel like that I want to go to having town hall meetings, listen to the people in the community, see what they have to say, and let's try to put things together and in order with what the community wants, and get people together instead of trying to do things by yourself.
Great. What's your opinion on working together with towns like City of Phoenix City, even the City of Columbus, the City of Smith Station? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we all need to come together as a community and as a whole, instead of us trying to not come together. I see that everybody wants to take credit for what they do instead of let's all take the credit and put everything together and make the whole community work together.
Sure. That's a big philosophy that you're at the East Alabama Board of Realtors and the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. Right. We changed the names of both of those to try to actually be more inclusive. The towns like Ladonia and Crawford and Fort Mitchell to feel like they're part of a region and not just part of something.
Right.
So appreciate your answer on that. So kind of as we're hitting the wrap-up phase already, give us a kind of a 30-second wrap-up. Reintroduce yourself to the folks out there, and then tell us why should we vote for you.
My name's Scott Chambers. I'm running for District 2 County Commissioner. I'd like to ask for your vote November 3rd. I want to be here for the community. I want to be the voice for the community, and I want to bring the community together for Russell County.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Scott, for being here. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
Hang in there, folks. We got a few more candidates for you tonight. My name's Dennis Beeson, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson again here with our candidate forum. I'm very excited. This is the Russell County Candidate Forum. And Mr. Costello, you're here with me. I'm glad to have you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dennis.
I'd like you to introduce yourself to the folks and tell us what district that you're running for, please.
Yes, thank you, Dennis, and thank you guys and the Russell County Board of Realtors for putting this on. It gives an opportunity for everyone to, I guess, meet all the candidates and get to know them a little better. But I'm Rod Costello, and I'm running for District 3 County Commission.
Great. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe you want to describe, maybe you've got some family here and you want to showcase a significant person in your life, but then give us a little bit about your professional background. What do you do for a living, and how does it maybe translate into being a commissioner?
Okay. Yes, I have family here. I have a lot of family. In fact, generations of family are here and have always been here. I have a father that is passed and an uncle that are passed, but both at one time worked for the city. Both actually retired from their jobs where they were with the city. The family, the friends, and the supporters that I have for this are wide in range and can really go across every aspect of society today. I've got a lot of friends that I went to school with, and I have a lot of friends that I've had a professional career with the city and with the county. I started my service as service with the Air Force. I'm a veteran of the Air Force, and when I graduated high school, I went to college. After college, I entered into the Air Force, and that I got to travel the world. I got to go to a lot of interesting places, and a lot of places where, to be honest, you start having a newfound respect and admiration for where you come from.
Absolutely.
And with that, I had the ability of becoming homesick. And so rather than doing a career in the Air Force, I got out of the Air Force, came back to Phoenix City, and in 1991, Preston Robinson and Roy Culpepper hired me as a police officer in Phoenix City. I worked there for 8 or 9 years, and now currently I'm working at the Russell County Sheriff's Office, where I've been for numerous years.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your service, both in the military, but also in the police force. It's very important. And the Chamber of Commerce is a huge supporter of our law enforcement. So why'd you choose to run for office?
Well, I believe, honestly, that the office kind of chose me. It was something I wasn't looking at. It was nothing that I had planned for, but an opportunity came, and I prayed over it, and I feel like I was basically led by God to run for this position, and that's the sole reason why I even got into this race, is because, one, I have a service type mentality where one person can make a huge difference in a community, and one person can make a huge difference in a person's life, and I try and each and every day try and make a positive influence on where I'm at, where I'm working, or the people that are around me. And so I think that parlayed with the job that I was doing and the job that I can do as a county commissioner, I can just see that we can make this community even better than ever, and I really do believe that.
That's great. For those of those people that are watching, where does your district lie? Give us an idea of who's going to be voting for you.
Right. Well, my district is large. District 3 encompasses Silver Lake subdivision, Bridgewater. It goes down South Railroad all the way to 14th. It cuts across and goes Crawford Road all the way from 14th all the way up to up Highway 80. It splits off of Highway 80 to Auburn Road area. It goes back around to Central High School and Dobbs Drive area. But basically from Home Depot on the 280 bypass on both sides of 280, Allen Woods, that subdivision, all of that area, all the way almost to Columbus. It stops just before you get to 431 South.
Okay.
And so it's a wide range area, and there's a lot of people in that area, and I'm doing my best each and every day to try and meet every single person in the district. And I'm walking neighborhoods and shaking hands and letting people know who I am and what I want to offer, you know.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about that for a second. So the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are both very pro-business organizations.
Yes, sir.
Tell us how you think you're going to support businesses in the Russell County and East Alabama region.
Well, businesses is the livelihood of any city or any county. Those businesses, whether it be by income tax or by sales tax or things like that, that tax revenue is what generates the functioning capital of any county or any city. And Russell County is in dire need of more and more businesses coming in and more jobs. Those jobs they're good for the county, but they're great for people. And that's what people really want. People want a sense of commitment by their county or by their city for their livelihood. And that's what I think is really neat, that Russell County Commission tries to, each and every commissioner in every district, there's 7 districts, and I think that a good working relationship not only with each commissioner, but with the commission and the city council and the city manager and the mayor of Phoenix City, all those working together to get those businesses to come, I think is a win-win situation for everyone. So that's what I look forward to doing.
Great. So if you're elected, tell me 1 or 2 main things that you feel need immediate addressing.
Well, the immediate addressing is the relationship with the city and the county. That is a relationship that at times over the years have been soured, and at times has been really good. And I feel like that if all the representatives in those areas work together, that the city and the county is just going to continue to grow and succeed in every aspect. And I think that the succession the success that we have is dependent on us and our leadership and how we govern. And so by us working together creates so many more opportunities, not only for the businesses, but for the school system and the people looking for the future here in Russell County and Phoenix City.
Wonderful. So kind of the 30-second wrap up, all right? I want you to tell us one more time who you are, what district you're running for, and why should someone vote for you?
I'm Rod Costello. Vote for me in District 3. And you should vote for me because there's one thing that I'm going to do, and that is make each and every decision about the betterment of the citizens of this district and of this county.
Rod, thanks for being here. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Dennis.
Have a great night, and we'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Dennis Beeson, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back. We've had a wonderful night tonight. Great candidates. If you're not excited about Russell County this year, something's wrong, because we have some excellent candidates, and the gentleman that's sitting with me is no less of a great candidate. He's been around the area for a long time. Many of you know him. Sir, I'd like you to introduce yourself to the people. I'd like you to tell us what district you're running for, and maybe tell us where that district is so we know where you're at.
Yes, I'm J.W. Brannon, retired after 30 years from Russell County Appraisal Department. Started it up from scratch and made a real stab at fairness and looking after the taxpayers and the voters. I live in District 3. I've lived there a little over 40 years. In Bridgewater, and I feel like I am running because I want to streamline some of the things that I think we're doing that I learned in watching the county operate for that long time, and I feel like we don't need to spend money that we don't have, and we got to watch our fiscal condition. We have grown tremendously over the 30 years that I've been there, but I'd like to say this too. During that 30 years, we never had an ad valorem tax increase. So the taxes are out there, and it's growing only because the values of the properties are growing, and we're getting new business and new jobs. Slowly but getting them, and I want to look for new and better ways to create jobs, but I'd also like to thank the Chamber for being a part of things like this.
Absolutely.
And our Board of Realtors. Matter of fact, I still have an inactive broker's license that I've been paying inactive fee on for 30 years.
There you go. Well, that's not a bad thing to have in your back pocket. So as you've been in this area for a long time and working in the county, give me a little idea about one of the maybe biggest things you feel like you need to add if you were to be elected. What do you want to change?
First, I believe wholeheartedly in common sense being applied in our local governments, the city and the county, and one of my goals would be to resolve the differences that we see between our city and county, being sued, lawsuits, and grumbling and hatefulness and things that just don't need to exist.
I agree.
People from outside see things like this and they say, well, you know, I might not really want to come to Russell County or to Phoenix City.
Right.
But I think it's all doable, and I think we need to all get together and try to cure that problem, both city and county.
Well, it's a good notion. I think it's the right notion. So let's take this question a little bit further. So the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are both pro-business. If you get elected, how are you going to, first of all, support the businesses we have, and maybe also promote growth through economic development?
Well, I have a little experience with that.
Yes, you do, sir.
When I retired from the county, about almost the same week, I signed a 2-year contract to start up our city in-house economic development department. And during that time, I had always heard that we were just off the beaten path and we could never get a auto manufacturing facility. Well, I was lucky enough to make contact with some people in Opelika and in Atlanta, and we ended up with Elgin. It's a worldwide company.
That's right.
And matter of fact, after I think they were after they were running for about 4 or 5 years, they did a $15 million expansion out there.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to have them and glad to have them, and we want more people like that. And I want to work with the city and the county. This joint ventures are good.
They sure are.
Especially among government and government agencies. We can save taxpayer dollars that way, I believe, and I've been, like I said, looking at it for 30 years, so I feel
You've
very
got the
confident
background.
that that'll work.
Oh, good. It's good to hear. So, kind of as we're wrapping up now, as you're getting that 30-second wrap up, I want you to reintroduce yourself into the camera there. Tell us who you are, what district you're running for, and then tell us why we should vote for you.
Well, I'm J.W. Brannon, as we just said, and I live in District 3. I think it's very important that I explain that our city taxpayers pay the same amount of ad valorem taxes as do the county. But District 3 and 2 or 3 other districts of the county is within the city. The county the district should be represented a little better in that most of the money the county takes in, they see fit to put it in the county. They don't help with anything in the city, yet we pay the same amount of taxes. So I want to work on some common sense things with the joint ventures of the city and the county working together, such as striping our streets throughout the city and things like that. And that can be worked out and help everyone. Like I said, I've been in District 3 a long, long time, and we've seen major projects come and go, and we've improved, and we want to continue to improve the city.
Sounds
and
great.
the county.
Well, thank you, sir, for coming tonight and talking with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a few more candidates still tonight. Stick around with us, and thanks for tuning in. Honor those that have served by purchasing a banner.
If you have a veteran that served in the armed forces, purchase a banner to be displayed to honor their service. For more information, call the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, American Legion Post 135, or Still Serving Veterans. Order a banner today and give the proper tribute to your veterans.
Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson here with the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, and I'm very happy to say that we're in partnership tonight with the East Alabama Board of Realtors. And there's a little bit of a theme, East Alabama, going on in our area now, because everybody's starting to realize that the tide rises all ships. And I have my friend Meg Peters here, and I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Tell us something about you. Tell us, first of all, your name, what district that you're running for, and then we'll talk.
Okay. Well, my name is Meg Peters, and I'm running for County Commissioner of District 5.
Whereabouts is District 5, so people have an idea?
District 5 is a complicated, I would say, district. It's easy to explain by the areas like Fort Mitchell in the south end of Phoenix City. It's all of 165 and parts of the South Girard district. It goes over into Bradley Landings, Patriots Point, Sweetwater.
So it's kind of all over the place.
Yes, it's very rural out there, yes.
That's good. So you've been putting some miles on the vehicle, I bet.
Oh, yes, sir.
Absolutely. So give us a little bit about yourself. Maybe tell us about your family a little bit, but then also give us an idea about your past professional career.
Okay. Well, I am a mother of 4. I'm also a wife to a law enforcement. He is also a sheriff's deputy here in Russell County. I am a veteran, retired military, right out of Fort Benning, so I can relate to a lot of the military community. Let's say,
How long have you been here?
I've been here for the past 7 years. I retired here. I love it here. We call ourselves transplants. So we decided that this is our forever home and we're not going anywhere. We absolutely love the South.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, we're glad to have you here and thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So why did you decide to run for political office?
Oh, the most difficult, I always feel like that's the most difficult question, but it really is a simple answer. I want to be the voice of the people, honestly. We have a huge demographic of people that aren't being heard. And especially Fort Mitchell, and the population has grown so much, especially since 2009, that there's a big group of people that are not being heard. And I feel like my, I don't want to say opponent, I'm going to say Ms. Catty Epps, the Commissioner Epps, with respect. You know, she has served for 20 years, and I've said it before, 20 years in office, in public office, you become ineffective, especially when your community has grown so much that you can't even relate to the people anymore. And I feel like it's time to pass the torch. And I wish it was that she would just pass the torch, and so that I could build on her legacy that she has done for the last 20 years. However, that ain't the way it is right now.
You have an opportunity to step out yourself.
Yeah, so I have the opportunity, exactly, and I feel like I have some more years in my life, God willing, that I want to be the voice of the people, I want to serve the people, and I want to fight for what they want. It's not about me, it's not about what I want, it's about what the people want.
Sure, and that makes good sense. So, understanding that the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are both pro-business organizations, pro-growth, pro-economic development, what will you do, in what ways will you support the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors in their endeavors to help the community grow?
Well, Fort Mitchell is an opportunity waiting to happen. We need economic development and growth, which will bring a lot of opportunities for our constituents that are out there. So I plan to actually bring infrastructure. I'm going to fight for infrastructure. I want to give Fort Mitchell their own identity, meaning I want to incorporate the city of Fort Mitchell so we can become our own city to where we can apply for grants, state and federal, to bring infrastructure, and infrastructure will bring growth, as in businesses. Businesses will come out, whether it's a recreational center for our children, give them something positive to do, but also within that recreational center, a before and after care, which will also bring jobs for service members that are out there, or their family members that are out there, so they don't have to go to Columbus, they don't have to drive into Phoenix City, they can be in Fort Mitchell in their backyard, just a few miles down the road. With infrastructure, that brings, more law enforcement, that brings more tourism, especially in the historic site of Fort Mitchell, because it does have a lot of history. So businesses will be able to come out, businesses will bring more people to come out to Fort Mitchell, and then it will also bring jobs, economic growth, and again, tourism, to where we can build our economy and depend on ourselves and not depend on anybody else.
Sure, for sure. And as we've talked about in the past, the Chamber of Commerce is very integral in trying to bring events and supporting any events that are happening. So tourism and getting people in our county is a big deal.
Yes, sir.
If you're elected, give me maybe the number one thing that you think you want to promote right away, that you want to tackle as a commissioner.
Oh, man.
Maybe the one thing that you feel is the most important thing that's lacking right now.
The incorporation of Fort Mitchell. It needs to become its own city, and with that, everything else will fall into place.
Awesome. Great. So now in the final 30 seconds, in the wrap-up, okay, I want you to reintroduce yourself to the folks. Look right into the camera. Tell them who you are, where you approximately the Fort Mitchell area, and then tell us why they should vote for you.
My name is Meg Peters, and the reason why you should vote for me is because you want change. You know, Commissioner Epps has been in office for 20 years, and God bless her for her public service. However, it's time to pass the torch, and it's time to pass the torch to somebody who is going to be effective and fight for the rights and fight for your voices and fight for the people's agenda. I'm for the people and by the people, and that's what we need. That's what government is all about. So come November 3rd, get out and vote for Meg Peters. If you want to see growth, if you want to see change, if you want increased security and safety in your neighborhoods, you want Meg Peters.
Thank you, Meg. Thanks for being here. And stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back in just a minute with another candidate. Hi, everybody. Dennis Beeson, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to our show tonight. It's the Meet the Candidates Forum, and very happy to have a wonderful lady that I've gotten to meet over the last 3 years, our current Commissioner, Caddy Epps.
Yes.
Glad to have you here. If you would, please, introduce yourself and then tell the folks out there what district that you represent.
Okay. Well, good evening. My name is Caddy Epps, and I represent District 5.
And where is District 5?
District 5 consists of the unincorporated area of Phoenix City going south, which includes Fort Mitchell, a portion of Phoenix City on the south side, yes.
Okay, great. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe give us some of your, tell us a little bit about your family in this area, and then tell us a little bit about your professional background and also the time that you've been a commissioner.
Right, thank you. Yes, I was born and raised in Fort Mitchell, Alabama. I'm the third child of 8 children to be born to Frank and Lila Mae Golden James. 6 brothers that I grew up, and we grew up on a farm. So Fort Mitchell really is my home. I've always lived in Fort Mitchell. I went to school in Fort Mitchell. I raised my children in Fort Mitchell. And after finishing high school, I did further my education with the Phillips Business College in Columbus, Georgia. I also am married to my husband, Arthur, and we have 2 children, Karen and Stanley, 2 grandchildren,
Nice.
Maritza and Janard, and 2 great-grandchildren,
Oh, goodness.
Skylar and Paris. And they are precious. They are my precious.
Well,
yes.
that is wonderful. And then, so you're truly from this area, and you've given yourself to public service for the last several years. And let's talk about that maybe a little bit.
Yes, I was elected as commissioner in District 5 in 2000.
Okay.
And during that time, I never knew why I went in, but I tell everyone it really is a calling for me to be where I am today. And I have to thank my voters who have kept me there and have helped me to make the unincorporated area of the city to grow. Fort Mitchell have really grown a great deal in the last 20 years. And we started off in Fort Mitchell with because nothing was in that area. So we started off with a senior activity center. And the center, after that, we added a walking trail, we added lights for safety, we added a provision with benches and garbage cans, we had water fountain, and also we have added a fallout shelter there in Fort Mitchell at the senior citizen. And right across, believe it or not directly, but right across down from that area, we have the first visitor center that I was very instrumental in working with the Historical Commission in getting that building up, and we have a state-of-the-art museum with playground out in that area. Also, over my tenure, we have a health clinic in Fort Mitchell.
Wonderful.
Never had one before. And then after the health center, we also have a chef precinct with Amalank precinct to help because you know, as the county grow, so does people get sick and they need that help. But then around 2004, 2005, when Brett came into Fort Benning, and they was looking for areas to build homes for their military families and all. They didn't want them to be into trailer parks as they were during the Vietnam War.
Sure.
So they purchased property there in the Fort Mitchell area, which once was nothing but peanut fields, cotton fields, and woods. And now we have about 13 new subdivisions in that area. We also have a drop zone that have come in that area with a Pizza Hut, a dentist is there, also a nail shop with other restaurants is also in that area. And Fort Mitchell have really grown, but not because of me, but because of the community as a whole. I work with the community. We also have, we had to do some, you know, road work.
Sure.
Living in the country, you know, everyone wants the roads paved, and I understand. But we have 90% of the roads in District 5 is paved.
That's good.
We also work with the railroad company to get the railroad crossing there at 24 to get the railing up because it's a dangerous spot. So we had to, for that safety, I got with the community, the engineer department, and we wrote to the railroad company. Eventually, after several years, we finally got it.
You
there.
finally got the line moved a bit.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like you've done a lot of things in the last 20 years, and it sounds that things that you should be very proud of.
I am. I'm proud of the first playground that we've had there. We have a playground, state of the art, and when I was talking about building the playground and putting the playground in the area of Fort Mitchell, I talked with parents that had children, my children growing, and what intrigued me so about the playground and the equipment that we will put in, I talked with the parents that had a special needs child. And sometimes when we are building playgrounds and doing things, we don't think about those special needs children.
That's right.
And they are just as important as the other children.
Absolutely.
So I was able to get that along with the community. Men from the community, men from my church came out and helped us to get that playground in. So I work with the community, I work with the volunteer fire department. So we have a good working relationship. I have a good work relationship with those as well.
That's fantastic. So as we're kind of coming to the end of this brief introduction of you, which I would love to be able to chat with you all night, give us a kind of a 30-second wrap up. Reintroduce yourself to the camera of who you are, what district, and then ask the people and tell them why they should vote for you.
Okay. My name is Katie Epps, and I do represent District 5 in Russell County, Alabama. And the reason you should vote for me, because I am a people person. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy working with people. That's why I have town hall meetings. And so I'm going to ask you all, on November 3rd, when you go to the poll to vote, cast your vote to re-elect Katie Epps as your county commissioner for this District 5. Change is still taking place. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Epps. We sure appreciate your time here tonight. And as she said, let's remember November 3rd, get out and vote and make the decision that you feel best about. We'll be right back with our next candidate. Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, and we're here at the East Alabama Board of Realtors doing Meet the Candidates, and we've got an incumbent, someone that's been with the commission for a little while, and Commissioner Chance Corbett. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
What we'd like you to do is introduce yourself and what district that you're from.
My name's Chance Corbett. I'm from District 6 of the Russell County Commission, which is the Crawford area, Dixie area over to Seal, and believe it or not, all the way down Sanford Road between 431 and Sanford Road, all the way to the 280 bypass. So it's a pretty big district.
Wow, that's a very big district. It seems like we have a big county, and all of these districts, people are driving in their cars a lot, for sure. So give us a little bit tell us who you are a little bit, maybe talk a little bit about your family, but give us a little bit of your professional background as well.
Sure, I'm a lifelong resident of Russell County. I've been here my whole life, I've worked here my whole life, I've never lived anywhere else. My career started out at a very young age. I started in public safety believe it or not, as a fireman at the age of 15 and was actually driving the trucks back then. You can't do that anymore. But and quickly moved on to the medical field, where I became a paramedic working on an ambulance here in Phoenix City and out in Russell County. But I really wanted to get a career with the sheriff's office. So I started with the sheriff's office in the early 90s, enjoyed that career, stayed there until I saw an avenue to be able to take a lot of the experience that I had and licenses that I had and combine those into emergency management. So in 2001, I took over as the emergency management director for Russell County. And I'm running for county commissioner in a large part to take it to the next level, continue doing what I'm doing as a commissioner in Russell County, but to make Russell County even better. My family, I've been married for almost 20 years to Jennifer. I have 2 kids, Colton and Alice, and they're a handful for sure, but keep me busy. And you know, a lot of what I do again is to make sure that, you know, in the future they'll have a place to live that's as nice as it is and even better.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the 3 years I've been here and getting to know you, and you're always on the go and you're always willing to dive in and listen, which is great to hear. So you kind of told us about why you're rerunning. You have a passion for it. So I'm going to move on to the next question, which is, you know, the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Realtors are pro-business. That's our main focus. Yeah. Give us an idea of what ways that maybe you've already have supported, but what you plan to do to continue supporting business.
Yeah, I was, you know, bragging in the last county commission meeting that without even looking and realizing by, you know, obviously I'm aware of it, but I had 9 new businesses in my district in the last 4 years, which is an unbelievable tale for this county, the growth, and that's outside of the city. Yeah. Renfro's is actually in my district, but that's a city project. I'm talking even in the rural parts of the county. We've had businesses in Crawford. You know, we've done a lot to improve the community. Whether it's someone down on Sanford Road that calls and says, hey, I need an issue, or Miss Martin up there in Brandywine who called me and said they need guardrails on crosswinds. You know, made that happen. But it's also the Crawford community. You know, I saw a portion of the county that was prime. It was a gateway to the county, coming out of Lee County, coming out of Macon County. You have the ability to attract people when they get here. So Crawford, we turned in and took an 1848 building that was falling in and turned it into a community center, built a playground outside of that. And then in the last few years, we actually took an old store, was built in the early 1900s, renovated that into a little museum type for the area, and built a huge, nice, outstanding gazebo, which is having weddings in it, and had one this past weekend already, and a walking trail that there are people walking on every day. So it's about making the community better. And what I saw from all that action was people were buying homes and people were moving out there and building homes. Property values went up, home values went up. We've seen it because people I know out there told me, man, my house was on the market a day and somebody made an offer on it. Land, you can't even find land. It's great. I was telling Chris when I walked in, I have a background. My dad was a real estate agent and real estate broker. He had a lot of property he managed as well. And about 8 years ago, I decided to go and get my real estate license because I was interested in it. Being as busy as I was, I did pass and got the license, but I let it lapse just because that just wasn't the priority at the time. But I'm back doing that again because I enjoy it, and it's amazing how much you learn about your everyday. Things I did with the sheriff's office, civil issues, things that are going on in the commission with taxes and revenue. It's amazing what you can learn in that field as well. So I'm enjoying learning more.
Well, we appreciate all the things that you've done hand in hand with not only the county, but you're avid about working with the city and also Smith Station. And your mind is always out to try to see if there's ways that we can work together and do it better.
Sure.
So I certainly appreciate that, and you and I have worked on a couple of projects with the mural behind your county building, and boy, the lights look fantastic.
And the new mural on the annex building across from the old courthouse, he starts in the morning painting that.
Which is exciting. So bringing some great things, and the places out in Crawford you mentioned, some great art there as well. Sure. So thank you for that. So what's maybe one main thing, if you're reelected, that's your top target right now? What's your topic that you really want to address right away?
Well, I think the whole county needs representation, and we're elected to districts. I don't let the district lines get in the way. I mean, I'm involved in things all across the county, and happy to be that way. But I think that obviously the biggest thing is structure and obviously working with the other governmental officials. You mentioned I work well with the city. I do. I can pick up my phone and text the city manager or the other city council members and ask questions. And in fact, a city council member reached out to me a couple of days ago about an issue out in the county, and I'm dealing with that. So I believe the partnerships work. One of the first things I did when I was elected was Representative Chris Blackshear was brand new as well, and we worked on a program called A-Trip that brought in, we were going to get $5 million, or we could take a program that would give us more, and we worked hard together, city and county, to realize over $14 million for the roads in Russell County and Phoenix City. And we're still seeing some of those projects, like the bridge out on Opelika Road, some of the other roads around this, even the city, Crawford Road, right in front of this building was paved with some of that A-Trip money. So you see the results of it. And what I see moving forward is taking care of the things that maybe we hadn't been able to because we've been so busy on other things. We've got 2 new commissioners coming in this year, no matter what, because the 2 that are being replaced are not running this time. So I look forward to some great ideas, in the Ladonia area, in the Ladonia portion and heart of Phoenix City. I think we have some good avenues to get a lot done this year.
Awesome. Well, as we're wrapping up, I'm going to ask you for a 30-second wrap-up.
Yeah.
Look into the camera, reintroduce yourself, tell us what district you're running for,
Sure.
and then tell us why we should vote for you.
Sure. My name's Chance Corbett. I'm running for re-election in District 6, the Russell County Commission. I'm a family person. I'm a lifelong resident of Russell County. I believe in business. I believe in trying to make our county the best place it can be. I am 100% accessible. I have people call me 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, and I don't rest till I get their problems and their issues solved. People will attest to you. If they bring something to me, I will painstakingly not finish until the job's done. So I would appreciate your vote on November 3rd.
Thank you, sir, and thanks for being here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment. Honor those that have served by purchasing a banner.
If you have a veteran that served in the armed forces, purchase a banner to be displayed to honor their service. For more information, call the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, American Legion Post 135, or Still Serving Veterans. Order a banner today and give the proper tribute to your veterans.
Hi, everybody. We have another candidate with us right now, Mr. Gary Head. And Gary, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to reintroduce yourself and tell us what district that you're representing.
I'm Gary Head, and I'm running for District 7 County Commissioner.
And where is that? Yeah.
That's the biggest district in the county. It goes from Hurtsboro to Pittsview, Cottonton, Seal, all the way to the borderline of Fort Mitchell, and then it comes up in the South Phoenix City.
Wonderful. Wow, that is a lot of territory to cover.
Yes.
You spent a lot of time on the road, I bet.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your professional background or who you are, or maybe even you'd like to tell us about your family in this area.
Well, I'm married, have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, lifelong resident of Russell County. Been a realtor since 1988. Still doing that part-time.
Great.
But probably the biggest reason I'm running is back when we were in high school, they used to have student government days.
Sure.
And my biggest mentor was Mr. Red Dudley. And I ran for county commissioner back in high school and won. And I've just, back of my mind, I've wanted to be a county commissioner ever since.
Great. So yeah, you thought about it and said, hey, how can I make this real? So tell us a little bit about what you're hoping to get done in the county. What is it, maybe 1 or 2 things that if you're elected that you want to put in place in the county?
The biggest thing I see is the conditions of our county road right-of-ways. They are pathetic.
Yeah.
And they're not that way in all the districts, but District 7, I don't know whose fault it is. I'm not pointing any fingers, but I would like to go in and clean up our county road right-of-ways.
Sure.
That's my number one goal.
Okay. Any other secondary goal that you think
Well, we've got
is important?
We've got 2 or 3 positions in the county that has been vacant for some time. They haven't been filled, and I don't really know why. I'd like to get in there and find out why and get those positions filled.
Sure, for sure. So as a former realtor and still part-time realtor, you know about the Chamber of Commerce, and of course you know about the Board of Realtors. We're both pro-business organizations. So what ways do you think that you're going to support and help businesses in the county if you're elected?
I would like to, of course, all political candidates say, well, we want to bring more jobs into our area. And District 7, I don't know how many jobs we can bring into that particular district, but there is some business out there. And but I'll be for the whole county, not just District 7, and I'd like to see our county a little more proactive in recruiting business in.
Okay, great. Let me ask you a little bit about Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's a topic sometimes people don't know a lot about, but the Convention and Visitors Bureau used to reside within the Chamber of Commerce building, and we're still kind of the unofficial visitor center. What are your feelings about promoting Russell County through an official convention visitors way? I mean, what are your thoughts on bringing visitors to this county? What do you think is a good way to maybe we could do that?
I would like to see that. I just about an hour and a half ago was talking to one of our city councilmen, and we were talking about ways to bring revenue into Phoenix City, which is Russell County, and we're missing the boat in a lot of areas.
Sure.
And he and I were discussing some ways to do that, and I don't want to get into that right now, but
sure.
Because he hasn't even taken office yet. But he has some ideas, and I gave some ideas. But
great.
Russell County has many natural resources that I think we could take advantage of.
I agree with you. It's a great place. So in kind of the last 30 seconds in a wrap-up type situation, tell us once again who you are, what district that you're representing, and why should someone vote for you?
Well, like I said, I've been in the real estate business since 1988. I've had my own company. I'm still a broker. So I do know a little bit about running a business, and I think that's what we need is people on the county commission that has some business sense. And I'm not going in there just to draw whatever salary it is. I want to go in there and help the citizens of Russell County. And like I've been here, I love Russell County. I've been here all my life, educated in Russell County, and my family, all of my family's in Russell County, all my children, grandchildren, and I'm just all about Russell County.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Gary. We'll be back in just a minute with our next candidate. Thank you so much. Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, and great to be partnered up here with the East Alabama Board of Realtors, and that's where we're at tonight. And again, we're talking about people who are running for election tonight, meet the candidates, and we have all kinds of people here tonight. We've got commissioners and we have people running for school board, but we also have a young lady here running for the Revenue Department, the Revenue Commission, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so what we'd like you to do is introduce yourself and tell us what position you're running for.
Naomi Elliott, and I'm serving as the Russell County Revenue Commissioner, and I'm seeking that position again.
Great, and that actually is the whole county, right?
Absolutely.
There's no district, it's the whole county.
It's the whole county. So
Great.
My election is countywide.
And you've been in this position for how long now?
17 years.
Okay.
When my term is over, I will have had 18 years. And so I'm seeking another term.
Great, wonderful. Tell us maybe a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about your professional background or just about the office that you've held.
Okay. Well, I was born and reared in Russell County and was educated here. Married my high school sweetheart, Mike Elliott. We have 2 adult children, a son Steve and a daughter Lynn, and then we have 3 grandchildren. And as I said, we graduated from high school together, and I went to work at F&M Bank when I first graduated. Mr. Green, Roy Green, gave me a job at an early age, and from that I worked in that bank for a number of years, and then after having my children I stayed at home and raised them, but later went back to work, and I went to work at Phoenix Girard and worked in the loan department and went to banking school and did had accounting courses and just learned good customer service by serving the public. And then I was fortunate enough, went to the voter registrars in the 80s, I think, and then I was appointed to the Motor Vehicle License Commissioner by the County Commission, and I ran that office for about 11 years. So I've been in the profession of collecting taxes for a number of years, and then I decided to run for Revenue Commissioner. It was an open seat at that point. The person that had the job at that point was retiring, so I ran for that position, for the position that I hold, and fortunately I've had it for those 17 years and have enjoyed serving the public, and think I've performed well in that job, in the fact that I have kept it up to date, and I opened up with online payments and taking credit cards, and I was one of the first offices in the county government to do that, and so I did that early on. And we just have recently implemented a new software system that promises to be progressive, and we're have a few hiccups with it, but we're proud of it, and I think in the long run it will serve the public well. Great. We have a great GIS program, which means that a mapping program where people can go on the internet. They can do most of their property research online. Wonderful. They do not have to come to the office for a lot of that information anymore.
And that's very important this day and age, and it's the time that we're dealing with, isn't it?
It is.
And your office has adjusted to the whole pandemic thing, and I think you guys have worked pretty well with the public and still tried to maintain a somewhat semblance of order.
We have. The County Commission was very forward in doing the things that they needed to implement for the whole built courthouse, and they set up walk-up windows from the outside that people could come to, and that has served the public well. I mean, they buzz a buzzer if no one's there, and we go to it and help them out. And as a matter of fact, since we started collecting taxes on October 1, I have someone there pretty much all day. Yeah, and they can get in the courthouse. It's just simply that they have to wait because the county is only allowing a certain number of people in the building at the time.
Sure.
So it makes it easier for them, the public, to have access to us, to come to that walk-up window if they choose to do that.
Okay.
And we're happy to have them do that if they wish to do it.
Great.
So.
Well, you've been always been a great supporter of the Chamber of Commerce, and I want to thank you for that. You've always been willing to talk to our leadership group every year and tell us what you actually do, which usually surprises people.
It does.
So we sure appreciate it, and we appreciate your time of service. Now, what I'd like to ask you to do is take 30 seconds and reintroduce yourself to the folks out there watching. Tell us who you are, what position that you're running for, and why should they vote for you.
I'm Naomi Elliott, Russell County Revenue Commissioner. And I chose to seek re-election because I think with my experience and with the staff that I have, that we do a great job for the public. We can't increase your taxes, we can't lower them, but we can assist you and with any questions that you have, and try to make the process for you easier. And I just hope that everyone will recognize the job that we've done, and that they would like to see it continue, and would go out and vote for Naomi Elliott, Revenue Commissioner, on November the 3rd.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, hang in there. We're going to be back with more candidates. Welcome back, everybody. Dennis Beeson here, East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, and we're partnering up tonight with the East Alabama Board of Realtors for our Meet the Candidates Forum. And the next candidate is not running for commission, but he's actually running for school board in Russell County. So a little bit of a twist here, but we're glad to have. So Tim, what we want you to do is we want you to introduce yourself to the people. Who are you, and what actual part of the board, what number, what division, what district are you running for the board? So go ahead.
Well, Dennis, thank you for having us here tonight. It's always a pleasure to be with the Chamber. I started out with the Chamber many years ago when I was at the city. I was actually the president of the Chamber of Commerce during the bicentennial when we had the Olympics. I got to go to the softball venue and represent the Phoenix City in this area, and was very proud of all that we've done. But I'm running for the school board at large in Russell County. The reason being, I have spent 35 years in the military. I have spent 40 years as a business owner here in Phoenix City, owning a land surveying and civil engineering company, where I've probably developed or been a part of developing most of the subdivisions in Phoenix City and Russell County. And so with that, my wife was the principal. She's the assistant principal at the Russell County High School. She was also went from assistant principal to the principal of Ladonia Elementary for 5 years. And she had to retire and go home for her father because of the sickness that he's had. And good to say that she's got him back to the point where he's doing very well.
That's good to hear.
But again, she's enjoying her retirement. But we want to continue to serve Russell County. My kids were raised in this system. My daughter, Ansel, she was a page 1 winner at Russell County. My son played sports at Russell County. Both of them graduated from Russell County High School. Back when we had the Fort Benning and had the transition of all the folks coming into there, I had some special intel that I was working with again, I told you I was 35 years Navy. I knew what was happening ahead of time, and I came to the board at that time, the Russell County School Board, and told them, look, what's fixing to happen in Russell County is real. We're fixing to see a growth spurt that we will never probably ever see again. And because of that, the board listened to me, and I appreciated what they did. The superintendent that we had at the time was a very proactive individual. I was able to meet with Congressman Rogers and a couple other, our senator in Washington, D.C., and we were able to actually pull in and get a lot of information so that we knew exactly how many children would be influencing and influxing into the Russell County school system. We were able to, through the board, make the decisions that needed to be done so that we could enlarge Fort Mitchell, enlarge the school there, and also take on and move some individuals around so that the school system was able to do it. I don't take full responsibility for that, but I was involved in that. But my goal is, as we go forward, Russell County is a place of business. We are a bedroom community. We have to realize that. We have to understand that. We need our children, however, when they graduate from high school, to realize that also and be able to have a place to work and live here. What we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of our children that are graduating, that are moving out and moving on. We want them to stay here. We've got a great superintendent. She's one of the finest in the country, and I do mean the country. She has a great board with her right now, but with the opening of this position and this board position, it allows the opportunity for a forward thinker, and I think that's what I am, someone who can get involved and do the things. Again, I have been a mover shaker. I want to continue to be a mover shaker. And as I've retired from my military career, I'll continue to do my business career as an engineer and surveyor. But I want to help the citizens and the students of Russell County become all that they can be.
Sure.
And again, with Dr. Coley, for the great job that she's doing, I won't be able to there to promote her. One of the biggest things I think that we have challenges in Russell County is the fact that people don't look it up to us as far as our potential. Our students are great. Every one of them are great. Our teachers are great. I know a lot of those teachers. I've been to, matter of fact, when my wife was the principal at Ladonia Elementary, she allowed me to take a tour group of her fifth grade class, and for 5 years we took over 60 parents and children each year to Washington, D.C. and got them acclimated to our nation's capital. And those were some of the smartest kids I've ever seen. They do a great job, but again, we lose that.
Sure.
So again, it's all about perception. I want to see Russell County's perception get raised to the level that some of the other school systems in this area are, and I want us to be the best we can be. So that's why I'm running. Again, it's not against anyone. It's not, again, the board's doing a great job. I want to be a part of something great. And I think it can start here at the Russell County School Board, and we can move it on from there.
Wonderful. Well, you've flowed right into a lot of the questions I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to ask you a different one, a little spin. So the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce has a junior leadership program that focuses on juniors in high school.
Okay.
We also have a targeted advisory group that's both in education and workforce development. How do you see your position on the Russell County School Board benefiting those areas and contributing to those areas?
Okay, a good question. And again, being a business leader in this community, that is again the one thing we want to see. Instead of having to go out into the Auburn area and go out into the outlying areas, to see the students develop here locally with businesses that are set aside so that they can actually move on to their mom and dad's piece of property. Maybe mom and dad owns 5 acres and they want to divide it up and give their children half of that, and so that allows the children to work here in that. But again, through that education process, through that business development through the chamber, it does nothing but help them educate them and move them to the next level.
Fantastic. So as we're coming to the wrap-up stage here, I want you to take 30 seconds. I want you to look into the camera and I want you to reintroduce yourself. Tell us again what district or seat, at-large seat that you're running for with Russell County, and tell us why we should vote for you.
Okay. And again, Tim Simpson, I'm running for the Board of Education at large, Russell County at large, and Russell County is a very large county. When you go from one end to the next, from the north to the south and east to the west, you will put in a very busy day that day. But again, I am a worker. I've been retired 35 years from the military, been working 40 years in my business. Don't have any plans to retire from my business anytime soon, but I do have plans to again take Russell County to that next level. And I'm gonna work as hard for the Board of Education as I did for my military career and as I do for my personal career.
Great.
So again, I would ask you, please vote for Tim Simpson, November 3rd. And if anything, go out and vote. We're pushing that. I think every candidate is doing that. This has probably got to be the most important election that we will ever go through in our life. Whether you agree or disagree, vote. Please do it. Please, and again, please vote for Tim Simpson for school board for Russell County.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson, for joining us tonight, and we will be back. Honor those that have served by purchasing a banner.
If you have a veteran that served in the armed forces, purchase a banner to be displayed to honor their service. For more information, call the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, American Legion Post 135, or Still Serving Veterans. Order a banner today and give the proper tribute to your veterans.
We recently lost a Phoenix City icon in Roy Green. We'd like to send our heartfelt condolences to his family. He was a legend, and his name will never be forgotten in Phoenix City, Russell County, and East Alabama. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. We had a great batch of candidates, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree, and we just appreciate all the candidates showing up to the East Alabama Board of Realtors, to our building, of course co-sponsored by the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. We did reach out to all the candidates, and we do have all the candidates that chose to be here on film tonight.
Yeah.
And thanks, Dennis, for moderating.
Hey, it's been a pleasure, and working with you is always great. This is a great facility, and all the people I think that spoke tonight, you had a good opportunity now to research and look and think about who the best candidate is going to be for Russell County, and in our opinion, maybe the best candidates that are going to support business growth and development.
Correct. Thank you.
So have a great night, and thanks for joining us. And don't forget, November 3rd, cast your vote.
Get out and vote.